The mark of a good car is one that can provide the performance and the excitement that you're looking for, while also being tame and composed enough to daily drive. So today we're going to find out if the Shelby GT350 can provide both of those things. So let's get started. Hey guys, how's it going? Dom from Formal Debut here, and on today's show, we are going to see if you can actually truly daily drive a Shelby GT350. I'm going to take you guys along with me today in my daily life as we take this car out. I got a bunch of things I got to take care of today, so we're going to see if this car can handle all of it. And along the way, I'll give you some of my thoughts on how the GT350 is to drive every day. So let's go ahead and get in and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and set off. First place we're gonna head over to is I gotta head over to the dealership, and I gotta get some work done today. So we're just gonna take it out. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. So we're gonna head over there, and on our way over, we're gonna talk a little bit about what this car is like to drive in a daily driver capacity. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, Dom, what the hell are you talking about? It's just a Mustang. So obviously you can daily drive a Mustang. So you're right. In most aspects, this is just a normal Mustang. And when you're driving it normally, it feels a lot like a normal Mustang. So when it comes to things that you look for in a daily driver, such as ease of entry and exit, when you're thinking about what you want to drive every day, getting in and out of the car is just as easy as any normal Mustang, which is to say fairly easy. It's no SUV, but it is fairly easy. Also, with the GT350, however, over something like a GT, you know, is this composed enough to drive like you would a normal GT? And I would say absolutely yes. Driving normally around town, it acts just like a normal GT. Right now, I'm just cruising at 40 miles an hour, and it feels incredibly composed, incredibly relaxed. Now, the GT350 does have some benefits over a GT that do actually make it a better daily driver. It is more versatile. In this car's case specifically, this car is equipped with the MagneRide suspension. So you can firm up or soften up the suspension however you want. It has multiple drive modes. Now also in the case of this Shelby in particular, it does have some nice creature comforts that I didn't even have on my GT. It has heated and ventilated seats. It has the large sync screen with Apple CarPlay. So it does have some creature comforts that do lend it to being a pretty good daily driver. That being said, the exhaust is very loud, especially when you turn the sport mode on. In normal mode, it's pretty docile. It's pretty quiet. The clutch is nice. It's not super heavy. The shifter, also not super difficult to use. It's pretty easy to drive. The only thing is that unlike my S650 GT, this does not have any driver assist when it comes to driving it as a manual car. There's no auto clutch slip and there's no automatic rev matching like the GT had. So you are losing those kind of creature comfort. It is very comfortable. I'm not cramped. I have plenty of headroom here. My legs are comfortable. My legs aren't shoved up against the firewall. It's very roomy. It's very comfortable. It's pretty much the same as it was with the GT. However, these seats do hug you a lot more than the ones in the GT did, I will say. And these aren't even the Recaros. These are the comfort seats that come with the convenience package. These are the seats out of a GT Premium that they put in the GT350. Let's you hear some of this exhaust a little bit. Hopefully you can hear it. It sounds absolutely excellent. So let's go ahead and get it parked. And then we will handle what we got to handle here. And we'll move on to our next stop. we need to go to Home Depot. I need to get a home detailing setup going, and I need a garden hose. So we need to go to Home Depot. So that's our next stop on this day of Shelby goodness. It just makes every drive just really fun, really exciting. Another concern about daily driving this car that some people may have is when it comes to consumable items with the car, when it comes to oil changes, tires, brakes, maintenance. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a different video, but that also is a valid concern if this is a car that you plan on daily driving, depending on your actual daily commute and what you do. You know, if you're someone like me who has a really short commute, and who doesn't really take the car out all that often or go really all that far, that's not going to be a huge concern. But suffice it to say, like I said, we're going to get into it in a future video talking about the cost of ownership with this car. That stuff can get very expensive. Tires on this car are very expensive. Brakes are expensive. Oil changes can be expensive. So that is something to consider when thinking about if this is a good daily driver. You probably will have better luck with the Mustang GT if that's something you're looking at, if you want to drive something more fun and sporty. For maintenance costs, this can be a little bit expensive when it comes to stuff like that. So that is something to take into consideration if you're thinking about daily driving a GT350. I will say, though, the fun factor with this over a GT is immense. The GT was very fun, but it's nothing compared to this car. When it comes to usability, things like visibility, if you've been in a Mustang before, you know what it's like. You know it's the same. It's okay. It's not bad. The C-pillars are okay. You don't have too many blind spots. If you're looking for things like adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, none of that was available on the GT350. But overall, I would say the car is very usable. It exists in a condition. It can be tamed down if need be. Like I said, you can change, your driving mode to something a little bit softer, a little bit more relaxed. But it's really not that hard to see out of when it comes to parking. Parking's not really an issue with this car. You can see out of it okay. The back window, you can see out of the back window okay. And it does have a backup camera. Parking really isn't a huge issue. So I'm just back into the spot here, pretty far away from the store. As you can see, I'm pretty far away from the door, but I'm going to go in the store. I'm going to pick up what I need, and then we're going to head to our next stop. And the next stop will not surprise anybody. So I'll see you guys in a second. But the rear seat space is limited. Like I said, the interior is pretty roomy. It's not very cramped. You could, especially if you're taking a nice little road trip with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, another person, it's perfectly doable for that purpose. It's a lot of fun for that purpose, actually, and that's kind of the way I like to enjoy my cars. I like to take them out and, create new experiences with them. So it is definitely fun for that. But we're talking about a daily right now. And so, large family, large trips, it's not really going to work for that. So we are now headed to the Shelby's favorite place, which is the gas station. That's one thing we haven't mentioned yet. I mentioned consumables, and this is probably the biggest and most expensive consumable with this car. This thing does go through gas. So we're going to pull in here and we're going to fill up, because we got another place to be tonight. So we're going to get in here and we're going to fill up with gas. Ooh, $3.83 a gallon for premium. All right, guys, so we're on our way to our final location of the night. I am going to have to wrap up the video a little bit sooner. We are losing light here. I was actually invited out to a car meet tonight, so we are going to go to a night car meet. It's going to be about a half hour away. I wanted to get a little bit of footage of us taking the car on the highway and talking about what it's like to drive on the highway, but we are losing light pretty quick, so I'll just talk about it real quick right here. It is absolutely fantastic on the highway. I love how it rides, even in sport mode. It drives so smooth on the highway. I don't know what it is about it. The only thing that I would say that I've noticed is that at higher speeds, due to the suspension being the way it is and the tires being as sticky as they are, it does tend to dart around a little bit. So if you find yourself going over a little dip in the road, the steering wheel will dart in one direction. The steering is very direct and it is very sensitive. So you do notice any little deviation when you're going over a little bump or divot in the road, especially at higher speed. So I will say that about the highway. To wrap up this video a little bit, can you daily drive a Shelby GT350? Absolutely, yes, you can. And I look forward to doing it in the future. It is a fantastic car. It is a very well-rounded car. It is built incredibly well. It is an absolutely fantastic and so much fun to be in. Absolutely, you can daily drive it. You can daily drive pretty much everything if you're okay with some sacrifices, but this car luckily doesn't have too many of them. That's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please go down and hit the like button, hit the share button, tell your friends about this video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when we post a new video. If you're looking for car detailing products, make sure you check the links in the description for Formal Debut Shop at formaldebushop.com and pick up anything you might need over there. And as always, for Formal Debut Detailing, my name is Dom, and I'll see you guys in the next one.